Let's get right into it. Number 10. Your tail that never happened. So here's a fun fact to ruin your morning. You were born with a tail. Yeah, a real one. Not a metaphorical, we all came from monkey's tail, an actual fleshy stub poking out of your lower back. It's called the coccyx, or tailbone, and it's your body's way of saying, once upon a time, you were a lemur. Early in the womb, you had a long, elegant tail like a tiny alien kangaroo. Then evolution was like, yeah, that's not chic anymore, and quietly folded it back inside before you popped out. But the skeleton version? Still there. The coccyx doesn't do much today except cause pain when you fall down the stairs or sit weird for too long. But back in your distant ancestry, that thing helped with balance, communication, and probably flirting. Imagine ancient proto-humans flicking their tails when excited, kinda like cats but with worse posture. Scientists believe our tails disappeared about 20 million years ago, probably around the same time we started standing upright. Turns out you don't need a tail when your main predator is your own bad decision-making. However, sometimes evolution forgets to delete old code. A few babies, about 1 in 100,000, are still born with tiny, fully formed tails. They're called human vestigial tails, complete with muscles, nerves, and sometimes even movement. It's like the ghost of your monkey ancestor decided to photobomb the birth. And here's the best part. Surgeons usually remove them, but they've actually twitched during surgery under anesthesia. So yeah, your body still remembers how to wag. Basically, evolution didn't give you wings or gills or telepathy. It left you a sad hidden tail stump. Congratulations, you're a folded-up marsupial in business casual. Number 9. Goosebumps, the emotional fossil. Ever gotten chills from a good song? Or a creepy noise in the dark? That's your piloerection reflex, a fancy phrase meaning your hair decided to cosplay as a porcupine. Goosebumps are another leftover feature from our hairier ancestors. When early humans felt cold or scared, their hair would puff up, trapping heat or making them look bigger to predators. You, meanwhile, get the same reaction when your Spotify playlist hits too hard or when someone says, "We need to talk." The muscles behind this, called erector pili, are still doing their little job, even though there's no thick fur to raise anymore. Your body still thinks you're a saber-toothed tiger away from danger. Evolution never got the memo that you traded caves for cubicles. What's truly weird, though, is that goosebumps don't just show up when you're cold or scared. They appear when you feel awe, a deep emotional surge triggered by music, art, or the realization that your ex was actually right. That's your brain mixing ancient fear wiring with modern emotional circuitry. You're basically having a primal hair-raising experience over a Taylor Swift bridge. So next time you get goosebumps, remember, it's not just a reaction. It's your inner mammoth fur system trying to keep you warm and relevant. Number 8. Wisdom teeth, the useless backup plan. Your mouth is a graveyard of evolutionary regrets. Enter wisdom teeth, the third molars that show up late to the party and immediately cause chaos. Once upon a prehistoric time, humans had big jaws, big appetites, and zero flossing. We chewed raw meat, nuts, and roots, basically a paleo diet with no blenders. Those extra molars helped grind everything down like caveman blenders. But as our brains got bigger, our faces got smaller. Evolution was like, you can have a genius IQ or room for your teeth. Pick one. Now, those ancient molars have nowhere to go, so they grow sideways, erupt into gums, and cause enough pain to make you question natural selection entirely. It's like evolution left booby traps in your skull. Even more ironic? Around 35% of people are now born without wisdom teeth entirely. That's evolution's version of an apology email. Sorry for the jaw problems, we're phasing that out in the next patch update. So yes, your mouth is a war zone designed by a drunk architect, complete with obsolete tools that can't fit in the box anymore. Basically, your wisdom teeth are like that one coworker who still insists on faxing things. Outdated, unnecessary, and somehow always causing a problem. Number 7. The appendix, nature's mystery USB drive. Once believed to be completely useless, your appendix was the poster child for evolutionary leftovers. For decades, biology textbooks described it as a sad, purposeless pouch hanging off your intestines, like a forgotten pocket on your body's jeans. But plot twist, it's not useless, it's just lazy. Recent research shows the appendix acts as a storage hub for beneficial gut bacteria, a kind of backup drive for your digestive system. When you get food poisoning or gut infections, your intestines flush everything out, good and bad. The appendix then quietly reloads your system with the healthy bacteria you need to digest food again. So yes, your appendix is basically an internal Wi-Fi router for your microbiome. Unfortunately, it also has a tendency to randomly explode, which makes it less helpful organ and more time bomb with a medical bill. In the past, that explosion, appendicitis, was almost always fatal. Nowadays, it's just another reason to post from a hospital bed. And if you're wondering why it's still around, the answer is simple. Evolution is lazy. Once something's not actively killing you before you reproduce, nature just lets it stay. That's why you have a useless appendix, a tailbone, and probably 3 streaming subscriptions you don't use. Basically, the appendix is your body's biological flash drive, helpful in theory, catastrophic when it crashes. Number 6. The blind spot in your eye, nature's glitch mode. You're walking down the street, perfectly confident in your human superiority, when, surprise, there's an actual hole in your vision. Yup, your eyes come with a built-in blind spot, an area where you can't see anything. It's not some metaphorical, you ignore red flags kind of blind spot. It's literal. Your retina has a patch where the optic nerve exits your eyeball, and there are no light-detecting cells there. It's basically the loading error part of your body. The wild part? You don't even notice it. Your brain just Photoshop clones the background and fills in the blank. Every single second of your life, your visual cortex is running an invisible con job. You're not seeing reality. You're seeing your brain's best guess. Think about that next time you call yourself a visual learner. You're learning from hallucinations created by your own nervous system. Animals like octopuses don't have this problem. Their optic nerves are wired behind the retina. You know, like a sensible design choice. But human evolution? Nah. It decided to run the cable through the screen. That's why we have blind spots, eye floaters, and probably existential dread. Basically, your eyeballs are like an early beta release of the human operating system. Glitchy, poorly wired, and somehow still the best we've got. So the next time you stare at something and swear it moved, maybe it did. Or maybe your brain just rage quit rendering reality for a second. Number 5. Palmar grasp, your inner monkey grip. Ever wonder why newborn babies instinctively grab your finger and refuse to let go like a tiny debt collector? That's the palmar grasp reflex, a leftover survival program from when your ancestors actually needed to cling to fur. Back in the tree-swinging days, baby primates had to hang on to their mothers as they moved through the canopy. A weak grip meant gravity lesson, permanent addition. So evolution gave us this automatic reflex. Touch the palm, the fingers close. No instructions needed. Even today, that reflex is so strong, a newborn can briefly support its own weight. It fades after a few months because, well, you're not riding through the rainforest on your mom's back anymore, unless family therapy takes a weird turn. The strangest part? Adults still have echoes of that reflex. When you fall, your hands automatically clutch forward before your brain even processes the danger. It's not bravery. It's ancient software from your tree-climbing ancestors trying to grab a branch that isn't there. So yes, every time you reflexively catch your phone mid-air, thank your monkey DNA. It's the same code that once kept babies alive, now just preventing cracked screens. Basically, you're still 2% jungle gym, 98% anxiety. Number 4. Ear wiggles. The party trick you didn't ask. For try this. Wiggle your ears. Go on. If you can't, don't worry. Only about 10% of people can voluntarily move them. But here's the creepy part. You still have the muscles for it. They just don't do anything useful. Those muscles, called the auricularis group, are evolutionary leftovers from when humans could rotate their ears like radar dishes. Early mammals relied heavily on directional hearing to detect predators, prey, or the sound of someone opening a snack from across the savannah. Modern humans lost the need, but the wiring stayed. In fact, scientists discovered that your brain still tries to move your ears when you hear sudden noises. With electrodes attached, you can literally see the microsignal fire, a ghost twitch of an ancient defense system. Basically, your body is trying to turn toward the sound, but evolution cut the power to the steering. It's like owning a car with broken mirrors that you keep instinctively adjusting anyway. So next time you hear a strange noise at night and your scalp tingles slightly, that's not paranoia. That's your prehistoric ear rotator booting up for a job it hasn't had since the Ice Age. You're a walking museum of obsolete hardware. Darwin would have called you feature-rich but unoptimized. Number 3, the startle reflex, built-in self-defense panic button. You know that jump scare feeling when someone drops a spoon behind you and your whole body freaks out like you've been drafted into a horror movie? That's called the Moro reflex, or startle reflex. And yes, babies have it too in full dramatic glory. It's one of evolution's oldest alarm systems. When you hear a sudden sound or sense a quick motion, your brain activates a split-second fight-or-flight program. Your heart rate spikes, your arms fling out, your muscles tighten, all before your conscious mind even registers the threat. For newborns, it helped signal to their parents, "Something's wrong. I'm about to get eaten by a shadow." For adults, it just makes you look like you lost a battle with gravity. The wild thing? This reaction hasn't changed in millions of years. It's the same panic button ancient humans used to dodge predators, except now it activates when your phone drops or Netflix asks, "Are you still watching?" Your body doesn't know the difference between a tiger and an email notification. To your nervous system, both are equally catastrophic. So next time you get startled by a harmless noise and then pretend it was just the wind, remember, that's 200,000 years of survival instinct kicking in to protect you from air. Basically, your brain is a paranoid security guard who's never gotten the memo that the zoo closed centuries ago. Number 2, the vomeronasal organ, your broken sixth sense. Deep inside your nose, yes, inside your nose, lies a mysterious, mostly useless relic, the vomeronasal organ, or Jacobson's organ. It sounds like something from a sci-fi movie, but this tiny cluster of cells once helped our ancestors detect pheromones, invisible chemical signals tied to mating, fear, and territory. In animals, it's basically a secret communication channel. Snakes use it to taste the air. Cats make that weird open-mouth grimace called the Fleeman response, and even mice flirt through it. Humans? Well, we broke it. At some point, evolution looked at our growing brains, complex language, and deodorant use and said, "Yeah, we're done with chemical flirting." So now, that organ just sits there, a microscopic fossil behind your nasal septum, disconnected from your brain like an unplugged USB. Here's the freaky part. Some scientists think it still kind of works. A few studies show that humans can subconsciously respond to pheromones, not full-on animal instinct style, but subtle changes in mood or attraction. So if you've ever had an unexplainable gut feeling about someone, maybe your ancient snake-sensing tech flickered for a moment. Still, it's mostly vestigial, a built-in love detector that's been deactivated since the Stone Age. Basically, your body's like, "We used to sniff out mates through scent molecules. Now we just swipe right." So yeah, evolution gave you a superpower and then immediately ghosted you. Classic. Number 1, your fight-or-flight overdrive, the ancient alarm. You can't turn off. You've probably felt it. That full-body panic when nothing's actually wrong. Your heart races, palms sweat, and your brain screams, "Run!" even though you're just giving a presentation or reading a mildly stressful text. That's your sympathetic nervous system, aka the fight-or-flight response, the granddaddy of evolutionary leftovers. In prehistory, this was your body's best trick. You saw a predator. Your adrenal glands dumped adrenaline and cortisol into your bloodstream. Your heart rate and oxygen surged. You fought or fled. Perfect system. Now fast forward to the modern world, where the predators are emails, deadlines, and the sound of your ringtone. The same system still fires, only there's nowhere to run. Your body preps for a mammoth hunt while you're just trying to reply to "per my last email." That's why modern anxiety feels so physical. Evolution never updated the software. We're still cavemen living in a digital jungle, reacting to every notification like it's a tiger rustling in the grass. The worst part? Once activated, that system takes minutes to calm down, meaning you can have a panic reaction to a threat that never existed. It's like your brain keeps hitting the fire alarm because someone microwaved popcorn. This ancient reflex was meant to keep you alive. Now it mostly keeps you awake at 3 a.m., remembering a weird thing you said in 2014. Basically, your fight-or-flight response is the world's most dramatic roommate, overreacting to everything, refusing to chill, and always making sure you feel alive even when you'd rather not. And there you have it, the museum of creepy evolutionary leftovers you carry around every single day. You are, in essence, a walking patchwork of ancient survival tech. Half genius, half glitch, 100% fascinating mess. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.